Home base for B-58s of SAC's 305th Bomb Wing, Bunker Hill Air Force Base, Indiana, is one of the most modern installations in the Air Force. On May 12, 1968, Bunker Hill was renamed to honor the Air Force's first astronaut, the late Lieutenant Colonel Virgil I. Grissom. On the day of the dedication, hundreds of visitors toured the base, viewing a static display of SAC bombers and tankers and other Air Force aircraft. Among those attending the ceremonies, Colonel Grissom's widow and his two sons. The guest speaker, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force, Thomas Nielsen, Colonel Grissom's parents, and his two brothers. In his address, Mr. Nielsen said, "We are changing the name of Bunker Hill not to pay less tribute to a famous revolutionary battleground, but to pay tribute to a 20th century pioneer in space exploration." Colonel Gus Grissom was one of our original 7 astronauts. On July 21st, 1961, in a Mercury capsule, he became the second American to enter space. He was the victim of a near tragedy on this flight. His spacecraft sank after splashdown. Following this Mercury flight, the first astronaut wings are presented to Gus Grissom and Alan Shepard by Air Force Chief of Staff General LeMay and Admiral Anderson. On March 23, 1965, a milestone in space exploration as Gus Grissom and Navy Commander John Young board their Gemini 3 spacecraft to fly our country's first 3-orbit Gemini mission. On this flight, Colonel Grissom becomes the first man to make 2 trips into space. He was to have the honor of commanding the first flight in the Apollo program that will land a man on the moon. But he and 2 other astronauts were killed when a flash fire engulfed their spacecraft during a simulated flight. Lieutenant Colonel Virgil Gus Grissom, the first Air Force astronaut, a space pioneer who gave his life in the service of his country.